Ah, hello everybody. Happy June. Happy June. Happy solstice. I'm gonna let me know if you can hear me. I'm doing this where I have the volume off on my computer so the message things don't go off. Here comes Ruby. She's like, who are you talking to? Waddling over. Hi baby. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. Thanks so much for joining. I'm really excited to tell you about July. July is there's so much happening. So much happening. I'm gonna let a couple of y'all come in. I hope you're having if you are somewhere in the northern hemisphere, I hope you're staying cool in the heat wave. Woo! It is hot. It is hot. I wonder it was 95 here in New York City. I'm wondering, has anyone reached 100? It's getting hot. It's getting hot. And it's so funny because I'm still not tan. Oh my goodness. I hope you're still spending time in nature though, even though it may be hot. You know, putting your foot on the ground, bare feet. Remember, you want to connect. Touching a tree, having those moments. Really good time to do it. Always a good time to do it. So, Kai, it's your first live. Hello, welcome. Hi, Irma. Hi, Katie. Oh, Queens. Okay, so you get this heat. You get this heat. Hello, Cheryl. Jean, good morning, Jean, over in Las Vegas. All right, y'all. So I hope everyone's feeling good. We've reached a solstice, big change with the solstice. It's up, obviously summer now in the northern hemisphere, winter in the southern hemisphere. Solstice time, big change. Okay, so it really is going to affect for the next few months. In fact, just solstice season. In Western astrology, we don't use the precession of the equinox. The solstices are a big deal. They're a big deal. Amy, hello from Norfolk, the UK. It's nice and cool there. Love it. Go touch a tree. Go touch a tree. So this is definitely going to be a time where we're in Cancer season. You're going to be feeling it. You're going to feel it throughout July. Cancer season is really nice. It's all about home. It's all about love, relationships, family. It's that nurturing energy that comes out, even healing energy. You're going to feel a lot of that. You've got Venus, Mercury, and the Sun in Cancer. We have a new moon in Cancer in the first week of July. Okay, I'm getting I just finished your July forecast. And so my brain is like in July while it's literally June 23rd today. It's like, what month am I in? It's a good thing time is an illusion. So I hope you're going to feel a lot of that. You're going to feel a lot of that. You may feel a lot more sensitive as Cancer season does, right? We're thinking about the crab here with the but it's in a protective way. Okay, just remember that there are some planets retrograde, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But it's funny because I in the Scorpio readings, I always talk about keep your pinchers in, certain aspects there that you really want to, especially during Cancer season and what's happening. The rest of this month, and then throughout July. Okay, because then we shift into Leo season toward the mid July, but there's a lot of other stuff happening. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. And happy birthday to any Cancers out there. Happy birthday. I hope you're enjoying your birthday season. I know this is going to be a big birthday season. I even mentioned it in your monthly forecast that this is likely going to be one of the biggest ones that you've had in some time. But for all signs, there's so much happening in July. Now, as always, I'm going to try to do this without repeating the things that I say in your monthly forecast that will be coming out. The main thing that I want you to do, and of course, we're going to go through all the best days of July, all the really wonderful days and some challenging days. And there are some challenging days, okay? But there that you can, it's how you handle that energy, right? The very first thing is that everything that you want to do, Irma, Kay, Cheryl, Jean, anybody, Amy, all of y'all, anything that you want to do, any goal that you have, anything that you want to accomplish, do it now. Do it now. Okay. I really want you to take action now. I really want you to, at least carve your path to your finish line, your path to enlightenment. Do it all now. And I say that because once we hit August, we're going to have not only Neptune, Pluto, and Saturn retrograde, but Mercury's going to go retrograde. And Mercury's going to be retrograde pretty much all of August. Okay. It actually enters shadow mid-month, but that's a whole other thing. You don't have to worry about that. You may start feeling the Mercury retrograde a little bit sooner than, August 4th when Mercury goes retrograde. It's kind of like Mercury took an Ambien mid-July, and he's still awake, he's still whatever, but things start getting a little, and then it's like August 4th is when it's like, all right. So just do everything that you can now, all right? Because there is going to be a lot of that retrograde energy. We're moving into that retrograde season. Jupiter is going to go retrograde as well eventually, not in August, but it will as well. And you'll have all that overlap with all those retrogrades. And don't even get me started on Mars retrograde at the end of this year in December, by the way, okay? Mars is going retrograde in Cancer. Actually, that's going to have a huge impact on me. I natally have Mars in Cancer. So do everything that you can now. Get everything that you can now. We have a great, wonderful new moon that's coming up. That's going to be very helpful. We have the 2 full moons. I did that separate video where it's time to clean out the closet. And actually, I think that I am going to do a separate new moon video as well, because it's a big one. It's a big one. Okay. And it's really, really nice. It's really, really nice. But also, in addition to these retrogrades in August, you're going to start feeling that Jupiter Saturn square. You're going to start feeling that, Mars Saturn square. You're going to start feeling those a little bit more. And remember, Saturn is so you really, really want to take advantage of everything now. You want to set wheels in motion now. You want to, get all road runner now. Okay. Y'all promise y'all do that now? Oh, the mountains of North Carolina. Okay. I love that. Where did I go? I'll think of it. I've been through a lot of mountains in North Carolina. I love it there. Asheville. I love Asheville, by the way. You got the vortexes. Anyway, so now we know that you want to do things now. You want to, set intentions now. You want to get things done, get things accomplished. Okay. It is definitely the time. It's definitely the time. August, we also have, a full moon. That's not very cute. But again, you've got all the, and I've said this from the get-go, from the beginning of the year, in your 2024 forecasts, the first 6 months of 2024 are so much nicer than the last 6 months. Now, I'm not saying they're terrible or awful or whatever. That's not true. I'm just saying stronger aspects are happening throughout the second half of this year. Okay. Stronger aspects are happening. And then it's been a wild year. There's eclipses, Jupiter, Uranus conjunct. I mean, there's been so much happening, but you've got all these great aspects supporting you in this big way. But again, I don't want you to fear August or whatnot. It's just with the retrogrades, do things now. And there are also amazing aspects that are happening too. So I just wanted to let y'all know. Okay. And then the new moon in Cancer, by the way, that's going to happen in July, which we'll talk about later. The moon rules Cancer. It's going to be great. You're going to love that one. All right. Also, so Saturn's going retrograde soon. It's going hand in hand with Neptune going retrograde a few days later. That's going to happen. I think it's July 2nd. that Neptune is going to go retrograde up until December. So remember, they're both in Pisces. They're both going retrograde at the same time. I think I talked about this in your last week's reading. And so it is going to be a time where, just having those like big reality checks, okay? Big reality checks, really, really not knowing what you want, just really, really knowing what you want, being your authentic self. There is going to be some time, you may be doing a lot of healing work, a lot of spiritual work. I recommend that, as I mentioned in some of your forecasts, or actually, I think it was last week, Neptune can be like a lot of escapism. And so you just want to confront all the truths that you need to get it off your shoulders, leave it in the past. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're going to be great. So, and Jupiter and Gemini, anybody feeling that just happened? I mean, it just happened weeks ago. It feels like it's been there forever. But Jupiter and Gemini is it's going to be something that you're going to feel a lot more. Anybody, and when I say anybody feeling Jupiter and Gemini, we're talking about information here. We're talking about information. We're talking about logic. We're talking about thinking. Are you like minds of fire? You got so many ideas. You've been communicating. You've been social. You've been taking little road trips here and there. A lot of that's going to start happening. You remember Jupiter last month, Jupiter moved into Gemini. And it's going to be there for until, June 2025. So there's got to be a lot of that. And we could talk more about that, because that's the other thing, is that there's always, with Jupiter and Gemini, that can be a lot of misinformation too. A lot of people just being on social media. And, I've definitely had experiences where, I'll be on, I don't know, like Twitter, and something will come up. I'm like, is that actually true? And it's not. So that might happen. That might happen a lot. Anybody have any questions so far? Casey, Asheville, or Boone? Asheville for sure. Sag rising. Ooh, you're about to have a lot of partnership activity. Star. That's your Jupiter and Gemini moment. All right, so let's go through August. Let's go through July. Okay, so July, really charged up energy. I know that, with a lot of planets in Cancer, okay, but you're going to see from the get-go, they start moving into Leo right away. All right, so Leo is the sun rules Leo. So we're about to have the sun in its domicile in Leo, but from the beginning, Mercury moves into Leo, and then later Venus will move into Leo before we move into Leo season. That's a lot. That's like having that roar, right? Leo is the lion, having that roar, really confident energy. And that's why it's like a charged up month, because even though Cancer is very nurturing and, it's sensitive and emotionally driven, still a cardinal sign. Okay. Getting things done, still a cardinal sign. And with Mercury and Leo, that is just like, you are communicating, you're just having fun. You're just having fun. It's gonna be a fun summer. All right. A lot of energy that's go through that. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you who wants to know the big aspects. Okay, let me break it down. Let me tell you the ones that I think that you really, really should know right off the bat. Okay, so the biggest one, I would say, we hit the ground running as soon as we hit July. Okay, because July 2nd, we've got not only we've got 2 trines that day. All right, we have Venus trining Saturn, very auspicious. Remember, trines are absolutely great for you. They make your life easier. They make things smoother for you. We have Mercury trining Neptune that day as well. That's really big. A lot of creative energy. A lot, if you're an artist of any type, that's really nice. Mercury moves into Leo that day as well. And of course, I talk about this as well. That's just being a lot more expressive, a lot more confident. But on the same day, Neptune goes retrograde. So you see that there's so much happening as we kick off July. It is, it's a lot. So you're definitely going to feel a lot of that energy. And a lot of this is going to inspire, a lot of the aspects happening this month are going to inspire you, are going to inspire you in so many ways, all right? To go after everything that you want, all right? Everything that your heart desires. This is going to be a great time. This is going to be a great time. So, one day that I want you to mark in your calendar, Friday, July 5th, we have a new moon in Cancer. Really nice. Okay, this is a great new moon, and I'm gonna do a separate video again, like I did with the full moon in Capricorn video that I did. I hope you saw that. It's just so rare to have two full moons in Capricorn back to back. It's not uncommon. It's rare. All right, and this is happening. They're both happening during Cancer season. It's of course we'll talk about the second one that's coming up. At the end of the month. Now, oh, sorry, my table's shaking because, okay. Okay, there we go. So mark that in your calendar. Set intentions, all right? Set intentions. New moon in Cancer, all right? Of course, all these aspects are going to affect every sign differently. Every sign is going to feel this new moon in Cancer in different ways. Of course, I talk about this in your monthly forecast that I'll post in a few days from now. As well as the new moon in Cancer video. It's just such a big one. There's so much happening around that time. And then from that point forward, there's some great aspects that are happening. One thing that I really like actually about this new moon, I'll just tell you now, is that Mars is going to be sextiling Saturn that day, which is, hey, hello, that's the two malefic planets getting along. Okay, so really, really nice. Now, I want you to circle this in your calendar 20,000 times. July 15th, okay? July 16th, but if wherever you live, but here, Eastern time zone, we're talking about Monday, July 15th. This is going to be big, okay? This is when Mars conjuncts Uranus, all right? Now, this is wild. This is wild. This is part of that thread that I was talking about since April, right? Since April, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. We've had a lot of Uranus conjunctions in Taurus. Now we have the Mars-Uranus conjunction. So there's been this story. There's been this thread that's been happening since April for y'all. And now here we come to where Mars, this powerful planet, is going to have this conjunction with Uranus. Uranus is all about breakthroughs. It's all about breakthroughs, freedom, something setting you free. So I want you to use this aspect to your advantage. I want you to take control of this aspect. Mars's ambition, its drive, its passion. Okay. Now, here's the other thing. Mars conjuncting Uranus. Uranus is also the unexpected. It's surprises. So there could be something surprising that happens around this time. Something very unexpected that you never saw coming around this time. Mars conjuncting Uranus is a strong conjunctions. Remember, very, very powerful. All right, very powerful. And I really, really want you to be aware that this is actually happening. You can feel it a few days before, you can feel it, days after, but this is going to be a very, very powerful conjunction where you can set yourself free. But again, something could happen that is like there's maybe a little sideways. You can think about, if you want, you can be okay. So this is an aspect that hasn't happened in 2 years. So this is one where if you think back to August 2022, I think it was August 1st, we did have that's when Mars conjuncted Uranus. Okay. So you can think about what happened around that time. Again, this is happening in Taurus. This is going to affect every sign differently. Obviously, Taurus, y'all may feel this the most. You may definitely feel this breakthrough energy. But it's Uranus. It surprises. Sometimes you just don't know. Now, everything depends on your chart, right? Everything depends on your chart. Some of y'all can feel like a 1 out of 10. Some, if you really want that breakthrough, you may feel it more than that. I also want to remind you that Mars is, we're talking about physical energy here. Mars can bring accidents as well. So be careful this day, okay? Be careful this day. Don't go, driving a truck, across a bridge where there's no bridge. That has like 4 planks. All right. You don't want to do that. All right. You don't want to be, all right. Actually, you know what happened? It's so funny because astrology, we're talking about cycles, patterns here. And I'm not sure. I think I mentioned this in one of my live streams of, maybe it was like a month ago, a few months ago. I'm not sure, but uh, ever since like college, I wrote down everything that I've done every day, and so it's not like a diary or anything. It's like every day I write down what has happened that day, conversations that I had, the way that I was feeling sometimes. And so I have literally every day of many 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 years of my life documented. It's very interesting. So I can go back to 2000 and I don't know 2006 and see what movie I saw with what friends I saw, what day it was. It's really fun. It's really interesting. So I can actually go back and see what happened for me. And this is why I always encourage y'all to take notes, to write down what you do, to really really just so you can go back and see what happened. And if you don't do that, you can always go back and see your social media. What were you posting? What was on your mind around that time? What had been happening around that time? And August 1st, 2022, I woke up with this crazy elbow pain out of nowhere. And I remember it was a big chunk in my, I call them dailies that I write them down, but it was on that day. But it happened a few days after. So it doesn't, again, you could feel it on July 15th, you could feel it full days after, but that's Mars. And so I had to go to the doctor. It was like a whole thing, but it just came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere with this elbow pain. But anyway, anybody have any questions so far? Katie, you said you need an auspicious July. You can make it auspicious. You can make it as auspicious as you want. It's high energy is what it is, but there's also that sense of like with in the beginning of the month with all that Cancer energy, a lot of just you've you've got Venus in Cancer, you've got the Sun in Cancer, you've got this new moon in Cancer. That really is this really nice, loving energy. It's I'm sure a lot of y'all know that I channel. If you've gotten a private reading with me, I have, I get visions, and it really is this kind of like, think about like if you're laying there and you have like your like a baby or a baby like heart to heart feeling that heartbeat, or even like if you have a pet like your dog just on your heart feeling the heartbeats together, that's what comes up for me. But yeah, you could definitely make it auspicious, and there are so many now. What's happening? Okay, so any questions about Mars conjuncting Uranus? We'll obviously, I mean, I talk about this in your monthly forecast, but we'll obviously talk about it a lot more in that weekly reading. Okay, I just do the dab. I did. Okay, so all right, so Saturday, July 20th, I really love this day, but it is going to be like whoosh, because this day Mars will sextile Neptune, which I really really love. Okay, sextiles again, very harmonious. Planets are complementing each other. I've talked about Mars and Neptune before. These are two planets that could not be more opposite. They could not be more opposite. It's like I always say it's kind of like putting two kids who have absolutely nothing in common in a room together, forcing them to hang out, and they're just like it's like the nerd kid like me, and then I don't know, like the goth kid. But this is Mars and Neptune in this harmonious relationship, doing something very nice for you. A lot of compassion around this time. I really love this on this day. But on the same day, and we're still on July 20th, Mars will move into Gemini. And so you are definitely going to feel this huge shift around this time, mid-month, okay? This is gonna be really, really wild. Mars and Gemini, especially mentally, right? Especially, logic, thinking, processing things, communication, everything that Gemini rules. Now, you see that Mars has now joined Jupiter. Okay, Mars and Jupiter are together in Gemini. So a lot of action toward where Gemini is in your chart, or I'm sorry, Jupiter is in your chart, or even Gemini. And Mars will be in Gemini until September 4th. All right. So you've got this planet that is just fiery. You got Gemini, air sign. All right. So a lot of mental stimulation going to happen around this time. A lot of communication. Mercury, the native ruler of the third house, Gemini, we're thinking about. It does rule the nervous system. So it's also like restless energy. So it's really putting a lot of everything that's happening around this time, things that you're thinking about, the brilliant ideas that you have, conversations that you're having, contracts, put it all, zone it in on your passions, everything that you want for this, auspicious July, Katie. And that's going to really help you. It's like passions ignited, but stimulation. Okay. A lot of stimulation. I would say, with the fact that this is happening with Neptune retrograde as well, there's a couple other, Neptune aspects. By the way, Neptune and Mars are very active this month, and so is Saturn, but Saturn is really, really good this month. Saturn's on its best behavior this month, okay? But with Mars and Gemini, with Jupiter and Gemini, Jupiter's detriment in Gemini, it's so, and that's not a bad thing. It's just, and we can talk a lot more about that in another video, but and I have Jupiter and Gemini in my chart, okay? And I'm also Gemini rising, so I am definitely feeling a lot of this energy already for the past month. It has been quite a ride, and it's again going to be for a while. But remember, Jupiter is expansion. You got Mars here, action, drive it. It's really kickstarting a lot of stimulation as well. Now, with Neptune at play, there's just so much happening this month. Again, I break it down in your monthly forecast, but just know that there still could be like a lot of misinformation. There could be a lot of, but excitement. One thing, okay, so I'm going to give you an example of something that happened, and it's so funny. I just in the past few weeks, there's a lot of, and I thank a lot of y'all for writing me and leaving comments. I had two people okay, so two people asked me about certain dates, and I'm like, yeah, this is the dates and whatnot, and went off to say that another reader said it was a different dates, and it happened at a time where, just out of sheer coincidence, a friend of mine also was watching like another reader, like a tarot reader, and I don't really watch a lot of their videos, but I obviously support the community. I do Patreon for a lot of readers. Just it's a community, and so I'm very supportive. But a lot of tarot readers have, and I can't say like how long they've done this for, but they're starting to also do astrology or try to do astrology in their forecast or in their readings, and a lot of inaccurate information. And so that's also Jupiter and Gemini, like with misinformation, but just, but there's that enthusiasm, like they want to, and it's there's a lot of learning new things as well with Jupiter and Gemini. Remember, I said there's that curiosity, but also trying new things. So just keep that in mind. There may be some tarot readers who are so new at it, and I encourage it. I think that when you combine astrology and tarot together, oh, that's a big force. That's a big force. Okay, and I don't know if y'all know. I mean, you do. I also incorporate like the hermetic principles and the universal laws and whatnot, but just keep that in mind. Sometimes they may not, their dates may be off, or they may mention an aspect without telling you what it is. And so just I encourage it. I really think that they should do it, but just, maybe like let them really get into the groove. Let them really get into the groove. Um, does anybody have any questions so far? I'm sorry. What am I? Irma, you said Virgo Sun and Rising Scorpio Moon. June has been rough for me. Hoping for a better month in July. Irma, you Virgo Sun and Rising. Yeah, you are definitely having. What's going on with career? That's a big old. Wow. A lot of changes happening in career for you, and Scorpio Moon. That's communication as well. A communication. Um, Intense. And like I said, you make your months. You create your own reality. I mean, man, it's all about, if you want to break it down to the laws of attraction, that is what manifestation is. Attraction is, but when you think about energy, gosh, I'll do a separate video on this, but think about energy. I always say this all the time. We're all made of energy. This is down to the molecular level. Everything in this world, in this universe, has a frequency. Okay. And this is not just, and this can be, this is hermetic principles. I mean, we can go back to the Hellenistic period. This is also quantum physics. This is also science. This is science. We vibrate at and so therefore we're always vibrating. And so you have to think of it as, just this spectrum. Okay. And so there's this high frequency over here, and there's this low frequency over here. You want to move forward toward the high frequency, right? And so anyway, I know that I'm going too much into that. But maybe I'll do a separate video on that. But I try to talk about energy all the time in your videos, about frequencies, raising your vibrations. It's what helps. Okay, it's what helps. And it's let me give you an example with my dog. As you know, she's had it's been 2 months now, right? She's the herniated disc. She has disc perfusions. Well, I didn't even know about it. And then I found out a month later, and this is all after the full moon in Scorpio, Irma, you being a Scorpio moon. But it's just this endless process. She starts physical therapy tomorrow. It's been this endless process where there's been this promise from the neurologist. Oh, take these steroids, do this. In a month, she's going to be fine. She's going to be able to run again. No, and that's not been the case. And so I've been to 4 vets now. Going to a lot of different vets to find the perfect vet, doing craniosacral. The amazing vet that I have now, craniosacral for Ruby, doing even acupuncture. And thank you all for those who have been emailing me with all this advice and suggestions and love and care and warmth. It really does move me. It's very moving for me. And I really do. I'm so grateful, and I very much appreciate it. So there's this whole thing that's been happening with Ruby for a few months that's had a major impact on my life, but I can sit there and feel sorry, and I can be like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever. Or I can vibrate at a higher frequency saying, Ruby, you're great. You did so great today. You're going to be better. You're going to be on your path to recovery, everything. That is what I'm talking about. It's your mindset. It's your heart. It's every single one of your, it's everything. Okay. Putting all your energy in that direction. You want to constantly do that. That is what's going to make the big difference. Okay. When I say you create your own reality, you really do. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about. And there are, with some of these more challenging aspects, that's why I say use them to your advantage. Use them. Okay. Don't let them defeat you. Don't fall under, the weight of them. Use them. You control them. They're just happening. You control them. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm getting all amped up. All right. So where are we? So Irma, Irma, you Virgo Sun and Rising. You're good. Listen, you got And you just wait till your monthly forecast. You wait till your monthly forecast. Um, and then you have Kai Aquarius with Aquarius rising. Yeah. Well, you know that I'm very proud Aquarius. There is a lot happening. Pluto is going to have some oppositions this month that we're going to talk about in July. All right, Pluto's going to have some. Pluto's in our sign. All right, Pluto is in Aquarius. We've got Jupiter and Mars cranking up the Mars is going to crank up the fun meter and in relationships and love and just having a lot of pleasure and joy and whatnot. But we are going to have a lot of focus on health, especially with the new moon in Cancer, everything that's happening in Cancer season. So but everyone is going to start feeling that shift once we move into Virgo season anyway. But and when I say that, that can be like just going to the gym more often or being more mindful about the way that you eat and the food that you're buying and the produce that you're buying and things like that. Okay. But this Mars Uranus conjunction, by the way, could have something to do with home for Aquarius. Okay. That's going to happen on the 15th. That's in Taurus. And I know a lot of Aquarians I think I actually mentioned this in your July forecast. I know a lot because I have so many Aquarius friends. It's just insane. I don't know if that's the same for you. Oh, Irma, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Oh, I really appreciate it. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So yeah, with Aquarius rising, like I was saying, I don't know if you have a lot of Aquarius friends, but I feel like a lot of Aquarians like come in packs. They come in bundles. Anyway, but that's it's just this Taurus energy in our fourth house. It's just been going on for so long, but I feel like a lot of signs are feeling that, and that's why you're feeling this shift as everything starts leaving that Taurus energy, and nothing's wrong with it. It's just been a long time. Remember, we even had those eclipses on the Scorpio Taurus axis, and anyway, Star, you asked, have you heard of anything about people being born or close to an eclipse? Yes, absolutely. I have. I've done readings for them. You just go through big cycles. You go through big cycles. Things can be sometimes really, right? If that's you, Katie, your spouse is spending more time. Things cooled off. January through now, after over years, recently we talked every day. Any feeling about us getting back better than ever? Oh, I see. You asked that. You were a Scorpio. Yeah, you've had a lot of relationship stuff. You've had a lot of relationship stuff. Now things are about to get really intense. Things are about to get really intense with Jupiter. And wait until Mars moves into Gemini. You'll see things coming up. You're gonna feel it. All right. This is your eighth house we're talking about. This, which is intimacy. Okay, it's intimacy. It's even relationships. There's that intensity there. Oh, you're going to feel it. All right. And remember, Mars is your traditional ruler. And let's get to, because there's another aspect that I'm going to talk about. We get to Sunday, July 21st. We have the second full moon in Scorpio, Capricorn. Okay. We have the second full moon in Capricorn. This is one, as you know, this is this one's at 29 degrees. What I love about this is, and I talk about this in your monthly forecast, and obviously we'll talk about this in depth. We get to your weekly reading, but Venus is sextile Jupiter here. It makes that's the two benefic planets. Okay, on the day of the full moon in Scorpio. In Capricorn, we also have the Sun trining Neptune. The biggest thing of all, Mars trining Pluto. Okay, Katie, pay attention to this. Are you paying attention? Are you on your phone? No, I'm joking. Mars trining Pluto. All right. That is big. This is happening on the day of the full moon in Capricorn. Hello. Mars trining Pluto. Remember, trines are very auspicious. Mars and Pluto, the two most powerful planets. Mars and Pluto. Mars, the traditional ruler for Scorpio. Pluto, the modern ruler for Scorpio. So, Katie, really pay attention to this full moon in Capricorn. All right. Really pay attention to this one. You can expect a lot of change. This is a lot of like just fierce. Mars trining Pluto is that empowerment. All right. You're going to feel that courage. Remember, Mars is action. You always want to take action around these times as well. All right. Really big picture energy. But this is going to be big. Now, one other thing that's happening during this full moon in Capricorn on July 21st, and I didn't actually realize I skipped over this for every single reading. I don't know why. Mercury squaring Uranus. So there is, again, around that time where this is a pretty high energy square. Remember, Mercury's gone into shadow at this point. Anyway, remember, Uranus is breakthroughs. Okay. So there could be some communication breakthroughs here. All right. Katie, there could be communication breakthroughs, but at the same time, there could be also unexpected things that come up. All right. Remember, with Uranus here, unexpected things, surprising things with communication. All right. Someone could say something to you where you're just like, oh, okay, and my pinchers are out, but just be cool. You're gonna be fine. This is a big, big, all right, full moon in Capricorn, Sunday, July 21st. Mark it in your calendar because obviously there's so many other aspects happening at this time. All right. Now, also remember, Mercury's in Leo at this point. That is fiery. All right, that is fiery, and then Uranus in Taurus, two fixed signs. So, hey. There's gonna be, and this is just relating to Mercury squaring Uranus. So just remember that this is going to be a big full moon. There's a lot of positives to it. Mercury squaring Uranus, again, that if you can take control. All right. Have that breakthrough. And then Mars trining Pluto is a big deal on that day, which we'll talk more about in your weekly readings. Okay. Beings, how you said, beings of light, energy encased in fleshy suits with flowy hairs and opposable thumbs. That's exactly what it is. You have to remember, we all have light inside us. Okay, we all have light inside us. You smash atoms together, you get everything's like. Listen, I think I mentioned that in another reading too. But yeah, we are light. We are, however you want to see it, spirits, souls. We are beings of light. I like that. Cheryl, you said, please take her to a veterinary chiropractor. Oh yeah, she's going to everyone. Don't worry, I got you, Cheryl. Thank you so much. You know, Ruby's my baby. I do everything. Again, for vets, neurology, like I will everything. She's in her stroller. She got a certain she gets her shots, everything. But I appreciate. Thanks so much, Cheryl. Your cat had a herniatus and it helped immensely. Oh, that's good. Katie, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. There you are. Leo with Capricorn rising. You got a busy first week in July with fun, energetic social events. Worried I've overpromised my time. Will it be a good week for me? What is that? The first week in July? Well, there's a lot happening. Like I said, you're going to... So remember, all those aspects that are happening on July 2nd, it's not just all contained in that day. Remember that. You're going to feel it. They're like shifts, they're energies. You're going to feel it. Some of y'all may feel a few days before, a few days after. But the biggest thing would be Saturn. So, Amy, Venus is trining Saturn that day. And one other day that, I didn't really want to bring it up in this forecast, in this session, but because I talk more about it in your in your monthly forecast. But Saturn, like I said, is so good. Saturn's a ruling planet. Okay, Amy, Saturn's a ruling planet. Well, with you being a Capricorn rising, you got Mercury moving into your sign as a Leo. You got all these Saturn aspects, Venus trining Saturn, and then it goes right through that new moon in Capricorn where Saturn is being extremely supportive. And then on July 10th, we have the sun trining Saturn. Oh my goodness. So this is all about commitments. This is even, partnerships, or what you were asking about, promising over your time. Funny that you said, worried I've overpromised my time. I've talked about Saturn being time. Saturn is Chronos. So you've got to make that assessment for yourself. You being a Capricorn rising, with the fact that you've already got uh, uh, Jupiter and you got Jupiter in Gemini at that point. You've had Jupiter in Gemini. You've had a lot of planets in Gemini. Mars is about to move there, and Mars is exalted in your sign. You know that, right? As a Capricorn rising. So you're going to feel a lot of that energy, and I'm not surprised you asked that question because that's your sixth house. That really your sixth house of everyday activities. It could be just you being busy, projects and whatnot. So yeah, I think it would be a very fun week. I think it's going to be absolutely a fun week for you. And again, it's you making the adjustments for your time, but the first week is great, y'all. Really, really great. Okay, let me get to. Okay, so on July 22nd, we move into Leo season. All right. So happy birthday in advance, Leos. Amy, happy birthday in advance. Thanks so much for the Hope Ruby gets better soon. Thank you so much. Oh, Katie, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are amazing. Okay, so we move into Leo season now. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Oh, I forgot something. Actually, I forgot something. Oh no, I'm only going. Oh, I'm going through the big good ones. All right, the good aspects, and then by the end of and then you're going to start feeling that shift into Virgo season. Well, that obviously is going to be August, but Mercury kicks it off. Okay, Mercury moves into Virgo on July 25th. I also really love Sun sextiling Mars on Thursday. Another day to take action. There's a lot of you can feel very confident, self-assertive. This, if and I mentioned this in your forecast, if you're here for sex, that's definitely going to be, or not here for sex. Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. If if it's just a heightened sex drive energy here on Thursday, July 25th. Who says that? I'm gonna get banned from YouTube now. Oh gosh. Okay, so those are all the days that, and of course, there's so much more. There's so much more. There's about 30 minor to major aspects throughout July. Anyway, those are the ones that I want you to mark in your calendar. All right. Hi, San. Okay. Who's what does that mean? Okay, so Katie, you said you keep your stickers. All right. Sally, hello. The first half of the year has been difficult. I've been super stressed at work trying to get my new sales position up and running. How does the second half look? You're Virgo, Pisces rising. Okay. Where's here's the thing. The first half of the year, like I think that did you join later? What time is it? Oh gosh, it's okay. Yeah, the first half of the year. So Pisces, if you're a Pisces rising, you should be having this shift. I mean, the second half of the year is just going to be very different. That's all I have to say. There's going to be, again, you're going to start feeling these. Here's the thing, Sally, if you look at your rising, and remember, the rising is equally important as the sun. In fact, this is what we're tracking, right? The movement of all these aspects. So always, and that's why whenever someone gives me their sun and rising, I will always look at your rising first. Okay. So Pisces rising, again, you're going to be reassessing a lot of things, Sally. You've got Saturn retrograde next week. You've got Neptune going in retrograde. These two planets are in your sign. Okay. These two planets are in your sign. So really, really take that time to really think about these things. But they've been in your sign, even without these retrogrades, they've been in your sign all year long. So you're going through a lot of the big moments. Let's keep it that way. Big moments. And then of course, with you being a Virgo sun, like a lot of attention, possibly spiritually, the way that you're seeing things first half of the year, shifting now into career, a lot of emphasis on career. But it is, again, like when you say you're super stressed, you don't have to be. Well, you don't have why that's you putting yourself in a place where you're making yourself stress. What are some things that you can do to recognize why is this stressing me out and what can I do about it, right? Because like I said, everything is energy. You don't and when I say everything, the things that you're thinking, the words that come out of your mouth, everything is energy. Okay, energy just exists. All right. So you want to same thing with the analogy I had with Ruby is that I can be super stressed about it. It's taking a toll, but no, I'm looking at the other end. I'm pushing myself toward that higher frequency, and I have seen the beginning of the year. Yes, we had a lot happening in the beginning of the year, Sally. It was. By the way, Sally, just to let you know, we do have a full an eclipse coming up in your sign in Pisces in September. Okay, a lunar eclipse. We're a lot of things going to be illuminated. And that's when we start eclipse season is in September. And so, yeah, I would focus on that healing part of that. What's going to be cathartic for you. Okay. Um, does that answer your question? Cheryl, you say awesome. Sally, oh, okay, Sally, you did just join. Okay, y'all. So the days that, oh gosh, okay. Here's some days I want you to mark in your calendar that just be cool. All right. I always say that be cool, stay frosty, be cool. You got this. We're gonna have some oppositions this month. All right. We're gonna have some oppositions. Where's the first one? Well, okay, so let me just where is it? Ah, okay, I thought that okay, well, let me oh by the way, I'm not gonna say that for monthly forecast. So so an opposition that we're gonna have, it's gonna be uh the day that we move into Leo season, the sun will be opposite Pluto. Okay, so we have a Pluto opposition there, and so as we move into Leo season, it can be a little of all right. Just keep that in mind. These are two. Listen, the sun is ego, right? Pluto, power. So this could be a day where and remember, this is for the collective. It could be you. That's why I say like, be cool, stay frosty. But we have the sun in Leo, Pluto in Aquarius, two fixed signs. Okay, so a little bit of wiggle room there. Now the other opposition is actually going to be in the beginning of the week or the month. I'm sorry, and that is going to be where is it? Okay, July 3rd. All right, so this is Mercury opposite Pluto. So honestly, this is just a day where someone and remember, Mercury's also moved into Leo at this point too. So two fixed signs: Pluto and Aquarius, Mercury and Leo. Someone's not budging. So, but this is again, everything depends on your chart. Everyone's different. Everyone's going to feel it differently, no matter what sign you are. But Mercury opposite Pluto on July 3rd. Just know that this is a day some people can be a little opinionated. All right. But another thing, I was going to save this for your monthly forecast. I'll tell you now. You could be telling secrets. You could be telling secrets this day. I mean, we got Mercury communication. We got, Mercury rules Gemini. As you know, I'm Gemini. Like I said, Gemini rising. I can talk. I can talk. But then you got Pluto. Secrets. We're talking about Pluto, the underworld here. We got that mystery. Anyway, so it could be you telling secrets. You could be hearing a secret, but this isn't that much. I feel like the opposition, the sun opposite Pluto is a little stronger. So just keep that in mind. And then, of course, the most, with the Mars conjuncting Uranus mid-month, that is just can be a wild card. But again, use that energy, make it work. make it work for you. Anybody have any questions? Any questions for anything? Oh, Sam, thank you so much. Oh, your second live chat. Oh, from Dubai. Wow. I was watching y'all's floods. Are y'all okay? That rain? All right. Anyone, any questions about this month or with July coming up? Your readings are out for next week. That's coming up. We're starting tomorrow. And there's some great stuff. Someone I forget who, but there's really good supportive energy next week. Really good supportive energy. We do kick it off with the moon in Aquarius. Moon will go into Pisces, by the way. Sally. Okay, moon will go. So I feel like you're gonna have some deep, thinking throughout this week. Moon in Aquarius, moon's gonna trine Jupiter. It's gonna square Saturn, but with those Saturn squares with the moon, it's you rising up. And then moon actually goes into Aries. Very, 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 very. Oh, the announcement that I was gonna make is that I am, and this may be a combination of Cancer season and the fact that I'm really feeling the Jupiter and Gemini energies. But I think I'm gonna make more time to do live streams with y'all every month. Okay. In addition to this one, so one that will be for all members. And it's going to be more. This is definitely going to be stick to the preview, the monthly preview for the next month. But the ones that I want to do, everything that I do, I want to do for the collective. And it's like I said, like a check-in. I always feel that, it's nice to have these moments with you. I love doing these live streams. So when I say monthly check-in, I haven't decided if it's like doing those quick readings with, those quick tarot readings, or speaking more about, universal laws, or, more inspiration stories, more channeling. And but definitely will happen. And I am making more time to do these separate videos for the new moons and like the full moon one that I just did. And I've done a couple of those, but yeah, I really just want to be more connected. I'd say I definitely want to be more connected, and help guide you. I love doing that. It's so funny. I always, there are times where it's like, I wonder how Scorpios are doing today. Like when I think about the transits that are happening, and I always want to reach out. I'm like, there's no way for me to, I could, but it would go to everybody. Or, Geminis or Capricorns, or, it always crosses my mind. And so I do feel compelled. So I will start doing, I'll be a lot more active and proactive. San, you said that was April's crazy floods. All is fine. Oh, good. All right. I've been in Dubai. That was so long ago. It was so long ago. That was the big old tower. That big old tower. Those beaches. Abu Dhabi too. I've been to Abu Dhabi. That was a long time ago. Katie, you said quick question. I just had surgery. Quick recovery. Yeah, wishing you a quick recovery. What was, or well, no, you don't have to. Don't tell me. You said tarot readings. Well, why don't I do? What time is it? 1 o'clock. Okay, I have to. I got a couple minutes. I'll do some quick readings. So, just really, really quick ones. Anybody have any questions? I'll do this for y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Okay, so, oh, Jean, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, y'all. I hope you're well. Jean, all that Gemini energy in you. I hope you are feeling it too. Okay, so asked very specific questions. I got like 10 minutes. Okay, asked very specific questions. All right, I'll do just quick draws. Type them in. Very specific questions. Yes knows best. Choices is also really good. Let me get in the zone. I got my crystal. I got like a million crystals here, by the way. That's oh, I gotta take my vitamins. Mm. And also remember, tarot and astrology, they're just tools. They're tools for the bigger picture. Energy, okay? Energy. We're talking about energy, emotional, vibrational frequencies. That's the big picture here, y'all. Okay, that's the big picture. Mm. Okay. Who, Katie? You want to know if you're going to get engaged this year? That's a big old question. Oh my goodness, that's a big one. Okay, so Katie, you want to know if you are getting engaged this year? I mean, if you're, what's your rising sign, Katie? Do you know your rising? Okay. And by the way, that's such a it may okay. Let me just do it. I'll explain to you. I'll tell you. All right. So, will Katie get engaged this year? All right. So Katie, it looks like it's really on your mind. Okay. Are you overthinking it? Are you overthinking this, Katie? I feel like you may be overthinking, overanalyzing. I'm not saying that it's not gonna happen. Your spread is saying that yeah, it's very possible. It's very, very possible. Uh, but it seems like there's I wish I could tilt the camera down so you could see the spread here, but wow, it's you got 6 out of 8 swords. Okay, you got I mean, good one. You got the Ace of Swords, you got the Knight of Swords, you got the Queen of Swords. You got a lot of swords here, but it just seems like there's something that you're coming out of that could have been really, hard, or something that you're moving into that may be really hard. But it just seems a lot up here. There's a lot happening here. But it seems like once you have that breakthrough in terms of overthinking things, yeah, I mean, again, like, remember, I said you control your reality, and everything can work in your favor. Everything that you want to do, everything here is saying that, yeah, it is extremely possible. But there's something that you have to break free from, I think. Something you're holding on to, especially maybe uh, up here. Yeah. You said it just popped to mind. That's if you don't understand rising. Oh, that's the other thing. I was going to start bringing some guests on too, like I did with Susan King. I've been thinking about bringing someone because it's always more fun, I think, when I do, instead of me just kind of like talking about your rising sign and things. I think it's more fun when there's people talking together, when there's a conversation being had. And so I may just bring someone else on to someone that I like to talk about rising signs. Like we'll do that. Okay. But your rising sign, you got to know the day you were born, the time, or obviously you would, well, maybe, I mean, the time you were born is the more, that's the thing that most people are not, sometimes not certain of. Okay. Sally, will I reach my sales goal? Okay. Sally. Sally, do you know that, by the way, something that's coming up? By the way, I think I mentioned that we do have those eclipses. So obviously moon related, but you know that the Virgo, we're currently with, the South Node, North Node. We're currently in Aries Libra right now. Do you realize that we're moving into the Virgo Pisces axis next year? We'll talk about it next year, but Sally, that's a big thing. Okay. You being a Virgo Pisces rising. Okay. But let's get to it. Let's see. You want to know if you're going to reach your sales goal, Sally. Okay, Sally. Oh, yeah, it looks like you are. You got to stop overthinking it. Um, and you could, I mean, again, I feel like that stillness of mind is going to be really good for you, but you did, yeah, it very, very likely. Okay. Uh, very, very, very likely. It seems like there's something new happening here too. Is it something new? But again, you've got the power in your hands. You got the Ace of Cups, like with the Four of Swords. So yeah. But you're definitely don't overthink things. Okay, don't. And again, with all this Gemini energy, the Jupiter and Gemini, that could be, that's a lot of stimulation. Mars moving into Gemini soon as well. Okay. Anyone else? Irma, you want to know if you're gonna get a raise this year? Okay, Irma. Let me see. I already feel that you are, but let me. Well, Irma, you get a raise this year. Okay, Irma. Let's see. You're gonna get a raise this year, Irma Lee. She get a raise this year. Oh, looks like you really, really want one. There's something you got to let go of first. There's something you got to let go of first. I think that are you really are you holding on to something? You know you got to let it go. There's something, I mean, there's something there that you got to let it go, because yeah, it's very possible with the King of Pentacles, you got the Lovers, but also the Five of Cups. But it's just saying there's something you've got to just move forward from. Okay. It looks like it's something that you're emotionally holding on to, is something that's coming up for me. But yeah. Is it a new job too, or is there something new here? Something new. But again, we're in a time right now where there's a lot of new things happening, with a lot of, like I said, like with a lot of things that y'all are leaving behind. Okay, that's just for the collective. We're in that place. But you got the Sun, you got the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let that thing. Yeah, I think even an emotional space. I think once you move beyond that, like, oh yeah, absolutely. Amy, you asked, will my knee be healed to dance on July 2nd? Okay. Let's see. First, Amy, I got to tell you, I am not a medical doctor. I just got to make that clear. I got to put that energy out there. I'm a spiritual doctor. Is that a thing? Does anybody ever say that? I'm a spiritual doctor. Okay, so Amy, will my knee be healed by your dance July 2nd? Okay, well, I hope that you're feeling better. I hope you're feeling better. And in a good frequency right now. Amy, will my knee be healed to dance on July 2nd? Okay, Amy, I'm going to tell you right now if your knee is going to be healed by July 2nd. It looks like it. I mean, listen, you got to put that action to it and definitely take that rest. Listen to what your doctor says, but yeah, there's a lot of movement here with it's with dancing with other people, I would assume, right? Dance on July 2nd, or there's something there with other people involved. But yeah. You've got the Eight of Wands here. You got the, Three of Pentacles. Like yeah. But remember, that's you taking that action. That's you taking that action, having that movement there, with the fact that you were the Leo, right? Yeah. Okay. Um, I hope that makes sense. But you gotta take that action. But yeah, that's saying that everything is aligning for you now. That everything is like there's that movement of things that you're hoping for as well. Katie, oh yeah, that's right, Katie. And I can go back than before, doing better since I removed some attachment mentally. That's good. That's good. He said no. Sally, San, Wow, new axis. I think I know what that means. Okay, so one last question. Cheryl, you asked, will I get promoted this year? Did we do that? We didn't do that, right, Cheryl? Is this me being okay? No, we didn't. Okay. So Cheryl, we're gonna see if you are going to be promoted this year. Cheryl, remind me, what sign are you? I don't think I know that. Do you know your rising as well? Your moon, all of that? Okay, so we're just gonna see Cheryl McCoy Gray to be promoted this year. Oh, you're Scorpio. Okay. Yeah, some great things coming. All right, so Scorpio, Cheryl. Oh, and Leo rising as well. Okay, Leo rising as well. And your Libra moon. There you go. Boom. Um, all right, Cheryl, we are going to see if you are going to get promoted this year. How much do you want it? I feel like, do you have more attention and energy on another part of your life? Like, is that something that's a little bit, is there something that you're putting a lot of energy, like more energy into, Cheryl? It just feels like, with Judgment here, and the Queen of Cups. Yeah, I mean, there. It seems like there may be something that could be a little bit more along that like Cancerian energy. I feel like if you are uh, Scorpio, Leo rising, I mean that's ninth house, 12th house. Okay, well, oh, there you. Okay, you're putting the energy I have into my job and personal projects requiring some work boundaries. Okay, I think that might be it. I think that, I mean, I feel like you may have to really take that time to really, put the energy where exactly where you want it, instead of, remember I said there's a lot of scattered energy that may be happening soon, and but really, really focus on, put all your energy into this promotion. But I feel like you're just going through a process right now. So I'm not saying that you're not going to, but with these cards coming up, it does seem like that there's a process where you may be even going through, like, what do I want? What do I really, really, really want? And I think that once you have that answer, you're going to have a lot more clarity. Okay, Cheryl. Now, again, I'm not saying that you're not. I'm just saying that I feel like you may know that, like, you may be closer to the answer yourself once you have a little bit more of that. Let me go deep. Okay. I hope that helps. All right. Oh gosh. Okay. Jean, of course we can't forget about you. How does finance and career look? Can you ask a more okay. So I wonder if you can get more specific with that, Jean. Um, Amy, thanks being good, resting now. Oh, good. You're going to a gig, a Korean rap band. Hey, I've been told that I should be in one. All right. All right. Katie, thank you so much. Love and healing energy to Ruby. Thank you so much. You got to run, attend to surgery, incisions. Feel better, Katie. Feel better, okay? Cheryl, you're pretty good. Oh my gosh. Thanks so much, Cheryl. I really appreciate it. Okay. Y'all are so amazing. Thanks so much for being members. It really does help. And it's really funny. Yeah, I talk, speaking of rising sign, sun sign, if rising is, it's where the sun was on the horizon. This is what we call it, the ascendant as well. It really is tracking what's happening real time. I say that all the time. It's like real time. But it doesn't mean that things don't affect your sun sign. Okay, things do affect your sun sign, big time, big time. I think I've attested that many times. And some people just, they resonate more with their sun. Sometimes people resonate more with their rising. Obviously, it comes down to your actual birth chart. But yeah. It's been, like I think I've said, every 12 years when, Jupiter moves into Taurus, I've moved, and it's happened every 12 years for the past 30. I mean, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. Um, Except for this year, I had a huge shift into more like buying property for my parents. Okay, so Jean, my small business has been on hold, so wondering if it will launch this year. Okay, there we go. There we go. Jean, let's see if your business will launch this year. Jean's business will launch this year. Oh. Why is that card keep? Ooh. Jean. Okay. All right, Jane, let's see if your small business will launch in 2024. Mm. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Gene, it looks like it. Yeah. You know what's really funny? So, I don't, when cards fly out, jumpers we call them. Sometimes like it really depends on like what my guides are telling me. Usually I just use them as like clarifying a certain part, or if I know that they are actually going to come out in this spread. Usually I know, sometimes I was like maybe it will. So while I was shuffling for you, Gene, the death card flew out twice. Hello, what? That was crazy. And then I just did your spread, and yes, so it looks like you are going to have a big. I mean, what this means, okay? So yeah. You're gonna have some big change, big old change happening this year. It looks like, yeah, it is very, very possible. It's very, very, very possible. More possible than anything. I feel like some things could have been like for it. Okay, Gene. I feel like there could have been some big that happened, and you were just okay. Let me just move forward from this because this has been really, and I'm gonna grin and bear it. But looking at your entire spread, but yeah, you're gonna be yeah. I mean, this all about huge. That's a big old transformational process. So good for you. Good for you. All right, y'all. I really gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go eat. I gotta take Ruby out in her stroller. She's, and that's the thing. She is improvement. She's up to like 25 minutes a day walking, which is really great. We started off at 10, so she's getting there. But y'all, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being members. Thank you all for everything. Y'all are amazing. And we'll do this again. We'll do this again. And I'm gonna start doing, I'm be a lot more connected with y'all doing, and for everyone, for all subscribers and members. I'm gonna do some member specific live streams in addition to this one. Thank you so much, y'all. Have a great weekend. All right. Have a great weekend. Stay cool if you're in one of these hot zones. All right, y'all. Thanks. Thank you. Okay. I appreciate all y'all. All right. Thanks so much. Bye bye, y'all. Okay. Bye.